So as we were saying before, we're starting to talk whether Orton's going to turn heel or Daniel Bryan or where they're going to go and all that other kind of stuff. That really is the bigger question in this match, I think. Who is going to turn heel? And I really hope it's Randy Orton.
Apparently, there's a whole load of news going around that it's going to be Bryan, and
I think
a
that's
lot of
so
it,
dumb.
a lot of it is due to the fact that they want to partner it, that they want to put him against John Cena for the WWE Championship. If they're going in that direction, great. I don't see a problem with it, but I think Bryan would have more of a chance as a face than as a heel. I think the fans really love cheering for him. They like the fact that his whole "I'm not the weak link" mentality going on at the moment. The guy's put on gold after gold match with everybody. The guy could put on a 5-star match with a chair. And he gave Ryback one of the best matches of his career. So the best chance for Bryan, in my perspective, would be a face. But again, heel or face, the guy can work. So it doesn't matter where they place him.
Now, if you flash back to previous episodes of Smack Talk where I was like, oh, Daniel Bryan, I'm just not a big fan of him and all this other kind of stuff, I still think he's a little bit overrated. But at the same time, I'm so worried that they're going to do just what you said. They're going to turn him heel and put him with John Cena, and they're going to feed him to John Cena, and I do not want to see that at all. I think you need babyface Daniel Bryan against John Cena if you're going to make it worth anything for Daniel Bryan, and you need to have him beat John Cena, and I don't think that they're going to do that. So I would really rather him just stay babyface and go up against kind of like what we were saying before, like a Randy Orton, or maybe he goes into a feud with Damian Sandow, or what was that other guy that I had him at the top of my head? If he just goes with Dolph Ziggler afterward. There's a couple different options that they could do, and the last thing I want to see them do is turn him heel, no matter who he ends up facing against.
Here's the problem with Daniel Bryan right now is that he's a face, but he's doing it by being a heel, and that worries me because WWE is so specious when it comes to their thought process, and I'm afraid what's going to happen is if they decide to turn him babyface and put him against a strong heel, they're going to do what they do with everybody that's a heel that turns face. They're going to strip him away of any of his personality and just make him bland. They did it with The Miz. They did it to an extent with Del Rio, with Orton, with Sheamus to an extent. And I don't want that to happen. Conversely,
does Daniel Bryan really have a personality?
Really? He's getting over with this whole weak link gimmick and just the way he acts and his mannerisms.
But they're so subtle as it is. It's not like he has a deep personality to strip. It's already kind of in a bare bones state.
Yeah, but the thing about Bryan, what makes him so good, like putting his wrestling ability aside, is the fact that he can work with any gimmick given. It's proven
the executioner gimmick.
Yeah, but literally, look, they put him in such a bad situation when he was WWE World Heavyweight Champion, where he was getting, using as many cheating tactics as he could to win matches against big guys like Big Show and Mark Henry. It still got him over. He was still seen as a solid World Heavyweight Champion to the extent that they paired him up with CM Punk in a series of matches that they had for the WWE Championship, which were gold, and apparently he was considered to take the title off of Punk. So if you look at the guy and look at everything, every hoop he's kind of jumped through to get where he is, that it's proven that he does have a personality, and he's not as bland as some may think.
Well, I know he's not bland. He's obviously proven that, but my big fear is, like they do with every babyface, they try to push as every heel they try to push as a babyface, they kind of take away the things about them that make them popular because it makes them technically a heel, and it just strips them away, and then you kind of wonder why you even like them in the first place. Conversely, if they try to turn him heel, like you said, I don't know. I think what they're going to do is, if they try to turn him heel, it's because they think they can get the same reaction as a heel. But what they're going to end up doing is they're just going to end up changing him to be more of a heel so that he doesn't get that reaction. Either way, WWE has not shown that they can utilize this kind of reaction well in people, so it worries me.
Yeah, and you know what I'm really worried about, especially when we keep getting these rumors about Daniel Bryan and John Cena. What have we seen multiple times in the past? When somebody's popular, they get fed to John Cena.
Oh yeah.
If you're a babyface, you work with John Cena, and he just takes all your steam away from you, like Zack Ryder. Um, that whole John Laurinaitis thing that we had going with CM Punk, we never really saw a whole lot with that. It ended up becoming John Cena and John Laurinaitis, and I really don't want to see that happening. Because if you have a heel Daniel Bryan go up against John Cena, we all know heel Daniel Bryan is not going to take the title from him. So what's the point? That's not going to make people cheer for John Cena because, well, Daniel Bryan's popular, and they'll hate him when he turns heel, and that'll make them cheer John Cena when he beats him up. That's not going to happen.
That's the main issue, and I think I've talked about this a lot in terms of Ryback. When the WWE tends to strip down characters, and when they pair someone up with Cena, for instance, they tend to build someone up in order to feed them to him. Once they feed a character to Cena, it ends up not destroying them, but they're never at the same level as they were before facing the guy.
Kali, Umaga.
Well, Kali and Umaga are actually two of the biggest examples of guys who are overpushed to certain spots where Cena made them look gold. Cena had awesome matches with Kali and Umaga. And
Umaga was not overpushed. Kali, I'll give you. Umaga was not overpushed. Umaga was awesome.
Yeah, I gotta give you credit. I really did love that matchup that he had with Cena at the Royal Rumble. That was awesome.
And Umaga went downhill after that.
Not necessarily. He had a couple of great matches.
Battle of the Billionaires.
I think the biggest issue with Umaga was losing to Santino.
Oh, that's
when
Santino,
yeah, well, because Santino was really, when he debuted in WWE, he was really bland. Until they started letting him like do his comedy bits and being himself and stuff. But we can address that at another time. In terms of guys that Cena has faced, if you look at like his list of guys, Ryback is a huge prime example of someone who was super over before they decided, right, we're gonna turn this guy heel and we're gonna throw him at Cena. We're just gonna feed him to Cena. His career is in doubt at the moment. And sorry. And another one I would say, just by having the person associated with a Cena feud, Zack Ryder.
Well, what do you guys think is going to happen in this tag team match? Do you expect Daniel Bryan or do you expect Randy Orton to turn heel? One of them has to.
Wait. Before you guys go into this, people who listen to this and people who listen to what I say know that I do a very good job of distancing myself and not letting my opinions be clouded by dirt sheet reports. And when I step back and I look at this storyline objectively and I look at what's happening, I don't see Daniel Bryan turning heel. I don't see Randy Orton turning heel. I see Kane turning heel. Kane is the one whose friend is abandoning him, leaving him very emotionally hurt and scarred. Kane is the obvious man to be turning heel here. And he's also the one that everyone seems to not be expecting for some reason. So I don't know if it's going to happen this night. But wherever, I think this is all just filler. Everything that's going on with the Shield and Team Hell No and Randy, this is just filler to get to SummerSlam or Money in the Bank or wherever they decide they want to do this. But Kane is the one who needs to come out as a heel in this because Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, they can continue doing what they're doing right now. Daniel Bryan will be fine as a babyface. Randy Orton will be fine as a babyface. What does Kane do now after Team Hell No?
That's a really good point.
He has to go back to being a big monster because that's the only way he's going to have something to do. He can't just go around being a goofy, emotional, wanting to hug people babyface.
Plus, if there, I mean, this is kind of incorporates the dirt sheet thing that you were talking about. If there is rumors that they want to turn Mark Henry face coming up this Monday, eventually Mark Henry's going to need somebody to work with. And Mark Henry's limited for babyface potential of who can kind of knock him out. And a heel Kane, I mean, I don't really want to see the feud, but that could be something that they do down the line.
I've never understood the need to see Mark Henry as a babyface. To me, a guy like that should always be a heel. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people think it could get boring after a while, but there are just certain guys that are built to be either a babyface or a heel. And to me, Mark Henry has never worked as a babyface. He comes off as way too goofy and jolly, and it just doesn't. It degrades him more than it builds him. Whereas as a heel, I mean, look at how big and scary looking he is. I mean, it just works for me. So if they're gonna pair him off with Kane, I would rather just see Kane stay the babyface and just have Mark Henry come in. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That to me fits better than seeing him turn heel just so that they can bring Mark Henry back and turn him babyface.
Well, Peyton, if you think that Kane is going to turn, what do you think is going to happen in this match?
This match, I would just see like maybe Kane gets pinned in this match, and that gives Daniel Bryan an excuse to be like, see, maybe you're the weak link. It's not me, it's you. And that just drives Kane even further to get pissed off.
How does he get pinned?
Kane's not in the matchup.
What?
Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton against the Shield.
That's what I'm saying. He gets pinned in his match, though.
Oh, no, but what do you think is going to happen in this tag match?
In this match?
Yeah.
Shield pins him anyway. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Roman Reigns gets a spear.
Just kind of a clean win, that's it?
Yeah, just another win for the Shield. And what else do you do with this match?
Because, see, I keep thinking that the whole reason that they're going to lose is the two of them arguing with each other.
Are Kane and Randy Orton arguing? Or excuse me, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton arguing all that much? I guess they did on SmackDown that one week.
Yeah, he gave him the RKO after he accidentally kicked him, and they're kind of doing that sort of thing now.
Oh, where does that go, though? Or are we going to have a Bryan Randy Orton feud that's going to go through the rest of the summer?
If they're not going to pull the trigger on him and Cena, next best thing would be him and Orton.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, to tell you the truth. Wouldn't mind seeing it at all.
We're all speculating this. It turns out Seth Rollins turns babyface. This breaks up the Shield.
Who?
He's the weak link.
The weak link of the Shield.
Who's Seth Rollins?
What do you think, Brandon? Any thoughts that we haven't touched upon yet?
You know what? I think Daniel Bryan is such a well-known wrestler at this point in time. No matter what he does, there's going to be a contingent of fans that will cheer for him. People will, at least I will always remember his ROH stuff more than anything. So whether heel or face, I think he works no matter what. I think also the same says for Orton. Orton at this point in time, yeah, he was a lot more interesting as a heel, but you know his ring work is still going to be the thing that draws me to him. So,
and we're all not going to remember Daniel Bryan's Combat Zone Wrestling Association when they tapped Ring of Honor. No one's going to remember that.
No one's going to remember Combat Zone Wrestling in the years.
All right, we're going to move on to part 6. Coming up here, Caitlyn versus AJ Lee for the Divas Championship.